So we're going to do the Introduction to Gel Electrophoresis Lab, and you're going to begin by learning how to use a pipette. So Pam is showing you a micro pipetter, and this one is a range that goes from 20 to 200 microliters. Okay, and you can see in this window what it's set to. Okay, and you adjust the volume by turning the knob, which adjusts the volume. So we're going to begin by setting that to, it was 20 microliters, right, for the first sample. You'll notice that you have a plunger on the top, and when you press down on that plunger with your thumb, you will feel a little bit of resistance. If you push through that, there's a second level that it pushes to. Okay, so when you first pick up the pipetter, before you do anything, just try pushing with your thumb and feeling the two different levels of resistance. The first one's very easy, the second one is a lot harder. What you're going to do before you suck up any liquid is you will push down the plunger to the first stop, not to the second, just the first. What that's doing is pushing air out of the pipetter. Okay, and then you release your thumb, it pulls the liquid up. And to expel the liquid, you have to push to the second level. And we're just using colored water here so that you can see the size of the droplets. So that's 20 microliters of solution. And we're putting it on parafilm because the water beads up nicely on the parafilm. So what you're going to do is you're going to practice making, what did we say, 6 different drops. Ooh.
This is what happens when you depress it all the way to the dispenser position.
So when she pulled it up, she actually probably pulled up twice as much. Okay, notice the different size in the drops. So what she did is, rather than press it to just the first stop, she depressed it the whole way before she took up the liquid. So you're going to just practice pipetting to get uniform amounts of solution onto the parafilm so that you're comfortable with the way that the pipetter works. Okay? Now, do they need to learn how to put the tips on? Okay. You press the white button. Oop. That one went flying out. And when you're ready to add another tip, is that the correct one? Because those are clear. Okay. Push it down in there, just tap it several times, and it's now hooked on. Okay. Part 2, we're going to be doing electrophoresis, and this works on the principle that fragments that have a charge are going to move at different rates through an agarose gel depending upon the size of the particle. So we're going to be showing this principle using food color, and food coloring is actually composed of several different colors, and those colors have different sizes, and because of that they're going to move through a gel at different rates. So the smaller it is, the faster it's going to move. So we have an electrical charge difference between the two. Believe this is the positive and this is the negative?
I think so too.
Yeah. And so they should move. This is going to be electrified, and the positive charges should be pulled down towards the negative end, and the smaller ones will move faster than the smaller. Alright, so we're going to be starting the gel electrophoresis, and we have a piece of equipment here that actually will be hooked into an electrical plug so that there's a charge associated with it. This up here is the negative end, this is the positive pole, and we're going to have a little cassette of agarose gel already poured that is going to be inserted into here. So the first step to get ready to do this experiment is to plug in the e-gel, the unit, and it beeps twice, and there was a little light that flashed on there. Now the next thing we'll do is open this package and remove the gel. This is an agarose gel. And if you look at the back side of it, you're going to see that there's a metal strip and another one here. And this is what's, when it's plugged into this machine, it's going to give it the electrical differential between the positive and the negative. So to hook this in, you first snap it into this one side, into the right side first, and then we snap it into place. Okay, and this light is illuminated. So press and hold, snap it into base by inserting the right edge, then snapping it. The LED is red. Press and hold the 15-minute button until the base beeps twice. Okay, so we heard that. And this initiates a 2-minute warm-up period. At the end of that period, the base will repeatedly beep. So the 2-minute time period's up, so now we have an alarm going off letting us know it's warmed up, and we cancel that by pushing the little black button.
The 15-minute button.
Okay?
2 times.
2 times. Next step is to remove what's known as the comb. The comb is what makes the indentations in the gel. So as you can see, if you look at it from the side, it looks a little bit like a hair comb with big teeth, big short teeth. So now we have depressions in the agarose gel. This is where we're going to load our samples. And you'll notice that there is a lane. Each of these areas is called a lane, like the lane in a road. And the lanes are numbered from 1 through 12. And we'll begin by we're going to put in various food colorings. On the tops of these little micro centrifuge tubes, we've already mixed the colors. And you're going to see there's a number on the lid of each of these tubes that corresponds to the lane where you will place the sample. So we'll begin by taking up a sample. You've already practiced your micropipetting of sample 1. Now notice how Pam is stabilizing the pipette with her finger. She takes that and loads in sample 1 into lane 1. She's going to have to switch the tips. She's going to sample labeled 3. We're leaving an empty lane between each of our samples. Okay, so she's loaded 3. She's now going for sample 5. Uh-oh. Okay. Sample 7. Sample 9. Okay. Now what we're going to do, there's another one? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's 11. I thought there was only, went up to 9, so we have 11. Okay. And we're going to place a water sample, just blank water, in all of the even numbered lanes. So we go to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay. So we've filled any of those lanes. So all of these samples now have 20 microliters of liquid in them, and they are either dye or they are water. When all of these are filled, we now press the 15-minute button to start the gel. So what's happened is there's now a charge differential, and the dyes are charged. The food coloring is charged, and it has a slight negative charge. This is positive, so these fragments are going to be pulled down through this gel, and they will migrate at different rates, with the smaller molecules moving faster than the larger ones. So we wait for 15 minutes